and welcome to the news on Sansad TV. I'm Isha Shah. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll go through the most significant developments of the day. But first up, the headlines. Air quality in severe category for the second day in a row in Delhi NCR. Primary schools closed. 50% work from home in Delhi government offices. Dates announced for the Delhi Municipal Corporation elections. Nomination process starts on the 7th of November. Voting on the 4th of December. Counting of votes on the 7th of December. Election campaign intensifies in Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. BJP president holds rally in Dharampur. Priyanka Gandhi addresses public meeting in Kangra. AAP names Isudan Gadhvi its chief ministerial candidate in Gujarat. Defence Ministry approves pro-rata pension benefits for soldiers. Also approves 5 Make-2 projects to promote self-reliance. And 2 more suspects arrested in Imran Khan shooting case. His party PTI holds protests in many places. A quick look now at our flash news segment. Union Minister Bhupendra Yadav to lead the Indian delegation to COP27 to be held in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt from the 6th to 18th of November. Centre constitutes panel to strengthen assessment and accreditation of higher educational institutions. Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, Chairperson, Board of Governors, IIT Kanpur, to head the panel. India all set to achieve 20% biofuel blending within next 2 years as against 2030 target, says Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy inaugurates the 6th edition of Ganga Utsav in New Delhi. Foreign exchange reserves rose to more than $530 billion, marking their biggest weekly gain since September 2021. Enforcement Directorate attaches the house of separatist leader Shah in Srinagar under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Gujarat suspends senior official Sandeep Singh Jala for bridge collapse incident in Morbi that killed more than 130 people. Supreme Court lifts stay by Uttarakhand High Court on government order providing 30% reservation for women in Uttarakhand state services. Twitter starts employee layoffs in India as part of global job cuts ordered by the new owner, Elon Musk. And German Chancellor Olaf Scholz urges China to use its influence on Russia to stop the war in Ukraine. Our top story. Primary schools in Delhi will now remain closed from tomorrow till the pollution situation in Delhi improves. With air pollution reaching dangerous levels, 50% of Delhi government employees were ordered to work from home from Monday. Advisory is also being issued to private offices to follow this. Let's find out more.
Authorities in Delhi shut factories and construction sites, restricted diesel-run vehicles and deployed water sprinklers and anti-smog guns to control haze and smog. The Delhi government closed primary schools and restricted outdoor activity for older students as the air quality index exceeded 470, considered severe and over 10 times the global safety threshold. In Noida, schools shifted to online classes up to the 8th grade to meet the public health crisis. The haze enveloped monuments and high-rise buildings in and around New Delhi. People complained that the smog had made it difficult to breathe. A full closure of schools, colleges, educational institutions and non-emergency commercial activities and a restriction on private vehicles is being considered in case the pollution level does not come down this weekend. The government advised children, the elderly and those with respiratory, cardiovascular and other health problems to avoid outdoor activities and stay indoors as much as possible. New Delhi tops the list almost every year among Indian cities gasping for breath after the Diwali festival celebrations. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
Now, Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar on Friday expressed concern over rising incidents of stubble burning in 4 major North Indian states, including Punjab, and appealed them to take steps to control it. The minister said that since 2018, the central government has provided funds and machines to the states for the management of stubble burning incidents. He added that stubble burning is not a political issue and the states should work towards curbing it. The minister said that Pusa decomposer, developed by the agri research body ICAR, is effective in controlling stubble burning and appealed to state governments as well as farmers to make use of more such machines. More news now from the capital as elections to the Municipal Corporation of Delhi will be held on the 4th of December, while the counting of votes will be done on the 7th of December. This was announced by the State Election Commissioner for Delhi, Vijay Dev, on Friday. With the announcement, the Model Code of Conduct comes into force in the national capital from today itself. At a press conference, the Delhi State Election Commissioner said the filing of nominations will begin from the 7th of November and the last date for the same is 14th of this month.
The last date for filing the nominations is 14th of November, which is also a Monday. Scrutiny of nominations will be on 16th of November, which is Wednesday. The last date for withdrawal of candidatures is 19th of November, that is Saturday. The date of poll, if necessary, as is always mentioned, is 4th of December, which is Sunday. And the counting of votes will be done on 7th of December.
Moving on now, the Indian Army has approved project sanction orders for 5 Make-2 projects, providing impetus to Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. In a statement, Defence Ministry said the Make-2 projects are essentially industry-funded projects involving design, development and innovative solutions by Indian vendors for development of prototypes. They include high-frequency man-packed software-designed radio, drone kill system, infantry training weapon simulator, 155 mm terminally guided munitions, and medium-range precision kill system. Now, President Draupadi Murmu has asserted that the topography of the hilly regions poses special challenges for development. Yet Mizoram has done remarkably well on all parameters. She said this while addressing the Mizoram Legislative Assembly on Friday. The president also said that development of village roads, highways and bridges not only helps in meeting education and healthcare goals, but also unleashes economic opportunities in the region. Noting that Mizoram Legislative Assembly celebrated its Golden Jubilee in May this year, she added that over the years, the House has evolved a model of debate, healthy discussion and mutual respect as an effective instrument in finding solutions to people's problems.
Mizoram can explore its past and find best governance practices from pre-modern days that can be revived within contemporary systems. Development of Mizoram and the rest of the Northeast is also key to the nation scaling greater heights. India's status of the global stage has been rising.
After inaugurating the CII Agrotech 2022, the Vice President attended the 3rd Global Alumni Meet of Punjab University today. Addressing the gathering, he underlined the importance of giving back to one's alma mater and through it to the society at large. He also praised the university for producing many luminaries in the fields of politics, administration, science, industry and sports. Praising the visionary National Education Policy 2020, the Vice President expressed confidence that it will propel India on the path of greater prosperity.
After a long gap, to see that the need is met, there was evolution of new education policy. Stakeholders from all walks of life, inputs were secured. I am privy to that, both in my position as governor and otherwise. Visionary steps have been taken because a need was felt that education alone can be convinced to bring about transformation in the society that can give solution to our problems and find emergence of an ecosystem that is balanced and holistic and all-inclusive. I do hope.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has asserted that great progress has been witnessed by the country in last few years and farmers are backbone of it. He was addressing the gathering after inaugurating the 15th edition of CII Agrotech 2022 in Chandigarh. Speaking at the event, the Vice President said that agriculture is vital for our economy. It directly employs more than 1/3 of our population and contributes nearly 1/5 of our GDP. The Vice President noted that sustainability and food security go hand in hand, adding that there cannot be long-term food security without sustainable agricultural practices. The fair will conclude on the 7th of November.
Forest agriculture is not a profession. Agriculture is a tradition. Agriculture, forest is a way of life. I am sure farmers here know it. The entire family is involved. They are involved 24/7. They weather all kinds of difficult situations and they do it with a smile. From ancient days, agriculture has been central to our identity. India came to be recognized centuries ago on account of its agriculture produce. We got a distinct identity in the world for that.
And a look now at some other news from across the nation. President Draupadi Murmu arrived in Gangtok in Sikkim this afternoon on a 2-day visit to the state. The president is scheduled to inaugurate and lay the foundation for various central and state government projects during her visit. The projects include Atal Setu Viaduct, the 2-lane Chisopani traffic tunnel, and the Ganjulamu Girls Hostel, Ravangla in South Sikkim under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. Alarmed over the rise in pollution in Delhi NCR, the NHRC has asked the Chief Secretaries of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to appear before it on the 10th of November to discuss the matter, an official statement said. The NHRC said that it is not satisfied with the actions taken so far to address the issue and that much more needs to be done to reduce pollution in Delhi. The Supreme Court on Friday declared the Employees' Pension Amendment Scheme of the year 2014 legal and valid. Giving relief to several employees, the court said that those employees who have not exercised the option of joining the Employees' Pension Scheme should be given another 6 months to do so. The court has abolished the monthly salary limit of Rs 15,000 to join the pension fund. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, has called upon the aircraft and system testing establishment to increase its outreach to capitalize on the unprecedented growth in the Indian aerospace ecosystem. He also advocated the need to use new technologies like artificial intelligence and big data analytics in flight training and testing methodology. The Air Chief added that the Indian aerospace ecosystem is witnessing unprecedented growth towards becoming self-reliant. Officials of the ED on Friday conducted searches at nearly 12 locations in West Bengal and Jharkhand in a money laundering case against those illegally occupying Indian Army lands. 4 places in West Bengal and 8 in Jharkhand were raided. The places searched included residential and office premises of a Kolkata-based businessman, Amit Agrawal, and several others. And time now for a short break in the bulletin. Lots more coming up on the other side. Do stay tuned. Let's take a look now at all the latest from the Russia-Ukraine war front. Turkey's president said that he and Vladimir Putin agreed that Russian grains sent under the Black Sea export deal should go to poor African countries for free. Putin has said that even if Russia withdraws from the deal again, it will substitute the entire volume of grain destined for the poorest countries for free from its own stocks. In a much scrutinized meeting with visiting German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Chinese President Xi Jinping called for peace talks between Russia and Ukraine and warned against the conflict going nuclear. The German leader is in Beijing for a one-day visit that has drawn criticism over China's tacit support for Russia, lingering controversies over economic ties, and human rights issues. The Russian Defense Ministry released video of Russian soldiers released as part of a prisoner swap. It said that 107 Russian military personnel who were in deadly danger in captivity were returned from the Kiev-controlled territory. Each side returned 107 members of military personnel, with 65 of those released by Ukraine hailing from the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. The deputy head of the Russian-installed administration in the Kherson region urged residents to leave the city. Tens of thousands of civilians have been evacuated from the city of Kherson in the face of a Ukrainian counter-offensive. Russian authorities removed their country's flag on Thursday from the Kherson administration building. Two US senators met hard-hit families in the war-torn country's capital, Kiev. Democrats Chris Coons and Republican Rob Portman emphasized the US commitment to Ukraine. The senator's trip comes ahead of the crucial US midterm elections. Representatives of Ukraine's national police said that bodies of 868 civilians, including 24 children, were discovered in the Kharkiv, Donetsk and Kherson regions since the territories were retaken by the Ukrainian army. The head of the National Police Department said that 14 bodies were discovered within the past day. Bulgaria will send its first military aid to Ukraine after its parliament approved a proposal tabled by 4 pro-European parties. The government now has 1 month to decide what kind of weapons it can provide without cutting its own defense abilities. Microsoft has pledged to extend its backing for Kiev's extraordinary wartime innovation to the end of next year. Microsoft will take its financial commitment to more than $400 million, enabling the Ukraine government and other organizations to keep using the Microsoft cloud and its public data centers across Europe. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and his Polish counterpart agreed to keep sending a strong message to Russia that intimidation will not work. Sunak's office said that the UK had increased activity with the Joint Expeditionary Force in the Baltic region. And now, news from some other parts of the globe. Former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu-led right-wing bloc secured an emphatic victory in Israel's general elections by claiming 64 out of the 120 seats in parliament. Netanyahu's ruling Likud party won 32 seats in the Knesset, while outgoing Prime Minister Yair Lapid's Yesh Atid got 24 seats. The biggest surprise of the polls after the final count was over is the far-right religious Zionism party that won 14 seats, becoming the third largest party. Now, police in Pakistan's Punjab province arrested 2 more suspects who they believe had sold the pistol and bullets to Naveed Mohammad Bashir, the assailant who tried to assassinate former Prime Minister Imran Khan during a political rally. Meanwhile, protests broke out in many places, even as the government ordered a probe into the incident. Here's a report.
Protests broke out in Pakistan's southern city Karachi after former Prime Minister Imran Khan was injured in a shooting that killed one of his supporters. 9 other people were also hurt. The gunman was immediately arrested at the protest rally, and police later released a video of him in custody, allegedly confessing to the shooting and saying he acted alone. Burning tires were laid on a road in Karachi as Khan supporters chanted, "Long live Imran Khan." Khan underwent surgery at Shaukat Khanum Hospital in Lahore. He was seen with a bandage on his right leg, just above the foot, according to reports. The violence that followed Khan's ouster as Prime Minister in a no-confidence vote in April raised new concerns about growing political instability in Pakistan, a country with a long history of political violence and assassinations. Since the vote in Parliament, Khan has mobilized mass rallies across the nuclear-armed nation of 225 million, whipping up crowds with claims that he was a victim of a conspiracy by his successor, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, and the United States. Allegations that both the Prime Minister and Washington deny. The Interior Ministry said the government has ordered an investigation into the incident. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And more news now in our World Wrap segment. The UN General Assembly adopted a resolution to demand an end to the decades-old US embargo on Cuba. The resolution was adopted with 185 votes in favor, 2 against and 2 abstentions. The United States and Israel voted against the draft. Brazil and Ukraine abstained. It was the 30th resolution in a row on the necessity of ending the economic, commercial and financial embargoes imposed by the US on Cuba. On his second day in the Gulf Kingdom of Bahrain, the Pope Francis addressed a conference on East-West dialogue sponsored by King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. He told an interfaith summit that religion must never be used to justify violence and that faith leaders must counter the childlike whims of the powerful to make war. Foreign ministers from the G7 nations continued their meeting in Germany's western city of Münster to expand unity on Russia's war in Ukraine, China's growing global economic clout, and Iran's crackdown on anti-government protesters. British Foreign Secretary said that retaining strategic endurance is important to support Ukraine. Early on Friday, Israeli aircraft struck several targets in the Gaza Strip in response to rocket fire on Thursday evening from the Palestinian enclave. The rocket attacks and Israeli airstrikes were the first cross-border violence since a ceasefire ended a round of fighting between Israel and the Islamic Jihad militant group there in August. "15 members of the Ecuadorian armed forces were injured on Thursday during a raid on the largest prison in the country. Inmates who were to be relocated to another prison threw grenades when the military and police entered the facilities. The government said that more than 2,000 officers from the armed forces and police took part in the operation. In recent days, nearly 1,000 inmates were relocated to avoid possible confrontations between rival gangs. 2 inmates were injured and 6 others were killed. And time now for all the latest from the world of sports. Australia have held on to their slim chance of qualifying for the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup. The hosts defeated Afghanistan by 4 runs in a thrilling match at Adelaide today. Australia's qualification will depend on the result of England-Sri Lanka match to be played tomorrow. New Zealand became the first team to qualify for the T20 World Cup semi-finals. The Kiwis beat Ireland by 35 runs. They qualified when Australia were unable to score 180 plus total in their match against Afghanistan to better the net run rate. Left-arm Irish pacer Josh Little took a hat-trick in the death overs of the New Zealand innings by removing a well-set Kane Williamson, Jimmy Neesham and Mitchell Santner off successive balls in the 19th over. The Indian men's team, led by the seasoned Saurav Ghoshal, clinches the first ever gold at the Asian Squash Team Championships with a 2-0 win over Kuwait in the finals. Barcelona's Gerard Piqué announces retirement after a decorated career. The defender bows out with 3 Champions League titles for his club and the 2010 World Cup and Euro 2012 with Spain. And Manchester United failed to usurp Real Sociedad at the top of Europa League Group E despite a 1-0 win in San Sebastian. And that's a wrap of the bulletin this Friday. Do stay tuned to Sansad TV for all the latest updates round the clock. Thank you for watching. Good night.